Crazy, terrifying, and dangerous. Those are some of the words that would perfectly describe what Vane is like in his character video. But surprisingly, this lunatic is also seen as a warm-hearted hero. And it's true. Actually, it's a common trope for a mafia leader to be very protective, especially towards the people he considers as family. With Vane's weirdness, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually sees human beings as animals. I think he considers the ones he likes as toys or pets, while the rest are either prey or livestock. He may take a liking to someone for simply being entertaining, or for being useful, or for being interesting, or for looking tasty. But if I remember correctly, despite his criminal activities, Vane actually has moral standards. And with that, I think it's safe to assume that he doesn't approve of bullying. So he doesn't necessarily have to like a person for him to rescue them. He may just be someone who would rescue even random people just because he feels like it. If I am right about that, it would explain why he has loyal followers despite how frightening and brutal he is. It's a common trope on stories with crime organizations wherein the gang leader has a lot of devoted subordinates because they owe him their lives. Yeah, I think Siafe isn't the only one he had saved. I think he saved many others, whether from physical danger or financial trouble or something like that. Then, as gratitude, they devoted their lives to him. Some might even have vowed to serve him for the rest of their lives. And then they have decided to accept him for whatever he is, that they will tolerate his twisted behavior. So I think many of his underlings aren't simply hired employees. Most of them are genuinely loyal towards him. Only those who aren't familiar with him or who had betrayed him would freak out when he shows his true nature. Well, that's only applicable to people who work with him in his underground activities. It's a little different on Siafe's case. I'll talk more about that later. Anyway, I think Vane's protection towards his people isn't a one-time thing. Vane genuinely cares about the people who work for him, and he will continuously help them out whenever they are in need. And he will even be there for them personally. And he will even do it for the people who are important to his people. Vane had protected Shirkwang along with Xiafei on this scene, and I think it's mainly because Xiafei asked him to, although he would most likely still have done the same as long as he was nearby, like what Liu Xiao did at the airport. But I believe his connection to the duo became even stronger because of Xiafei's relationship with them. And that is why it was so easy for Shirkwang to meet up with Vane on this scene because of Xiafei's request. Being able to approach the leader of Chinatown shouldn't have been something easy unless there are connections. That alone is already special treatment enough. But he even treated them to hot pots. Vane had somewhat mentioned the reason why he's being nice to Shirkwang, and that is because Felix's friends are also his friends. So Felix's special people have become his special people too, even if one of them had been giving him murderous glares. And I think that's also one of the reasons why he brought a tranquilizer gun on this scene. Maybe he really had no intention to kill anybody since he just planned to pick up the secret notebook. But I am pretty convinced that Vane intentionally brought the tranquilizer to aim it immediately at Teng Xiaoshi. And his purpose is because he doesn't want Teng Xiaoshi to be involved. You see, with what he's about to do, Teng Xiaoshi will most likely try to fight back, and he wouldn't want to be forced to harm Felix's close friend, right? This part is not counted since it's in the future, okay? So, I think Vane is the type who treats the people who are important to his people as his own people too. And that will definitely make his people like him even more. But of course, even if Vane is the type who will take care of his people regardless of how close they are to him, we know that there are certain people who are undeniably very special to him. We haven't seen much interaction between Vane and Liu Xiao in the Britain arc, but it's clear that they are very close since Liu Xiao personally fetched Vane from the airport, even though Vane has so many subordinates that can do that for him. Also, I think it's because of this special relationship between these partners in crime that Xiafei couldn't completely stay away from Liu Xiao. After all, Vane was the one who convinced Xiafei to help out when Liu Xiao needed something. In a way, Vane has been protecting Liu Xiao from isolation. Well, it's unlikely for Liu Xiao to need something like physical protection. Not at present, at least. But when such a time comes, Vane will definitely protect him. It made me more convinced that Vane will be doing that when I noticed his habit of putting his arm around Liu Xiao's shoulders. I know that doesn't really have anything to do with being protective, but you see, there's a certain protective character who has a similar habit to the mastermind of their own gang. You also see my logic behind this, right? Anyway, Liu Xiao is capable of protecting himself, but Vane's other special someone is a troublemaker that Vane needed to look after. Xiafei was already a victim of workplace bullying even before he met Vane, right? But I think that bullying had become worse after they met because the coworkers who were jealous of Xiafei have started to think that his success was only because of his connections with the boss. And I suppose that's not a surprise because he really has been getting special treatment. Anyway, well, Xiafei wasn't getting special treatment in a sense that he was being given tons of projects without working hard to earn them. It also doesn't seem like Xiafei is being paid more than what he deserved. Because if that were the case, Xiafei should have been rich by now. But nope, he still needs the money. So, I think Xiafei was being treated as someone special in the agency in a different way. As we already know, Vane personally rescues Xiafei whenever the boy calls for help. I think it happened for so many times already that Xiafei immediately sent his coordinates to Vane so that Vane wouldn't need to go through the trouble of finding him. I wouldn't be surprised if Vane also helped Xiafei in paying damage repairs. And if I remember correctly, linkclick's creator has mentioned about Vane paying for Xiafei's insurance. Most probably the same insurance that Xiafei has been saving up for which made him apply for the modeling job in the first place. And for Xiafei to earn more money, Vane has been offering him side gigs, personally saving him when he's in trouble, and personally helping him with his financial problems. Seriously, I doubt there is any other model in the agency who's been getting such privileges. Vane has been helping and spoiling Xiafei so much. Or is it too much? Vane's charismatic traits make people want to follow him. He also genuinely protects his people, that it makes him even more likable. And of course, he's not just a reliable partner, but also a very trustworthy friend. But there's something suspiciously special with how much he favors Xiafei. He is so biased that, oh, it reminded me of the time when Vane was not being pleased about Xiafei's face getting injured, but it's okay for him to kick his other models' faces. Yeah, I know he most likely just doesn't see those bullies as his people anymore because of what they did. But still, it's so funny. Anyway, I think it's interesting that Siafe seems to be the only person who is very close to Vane but is not aware of Vane's real main job. Siafe was already hostile towards the person who made him do a stalking job. Then what more towards the person who does other illegal activities? Could Vane be hiding about it because he doesn't want to lose Siafei's favor? He doesn't seem to be the type to care about that though. Or perhaps it was just a coincidence. Or maybe Vane was intentionally not letting Siafei know because he doesn't want Siafei to get involved. Like, that's his way of keeping Siafei safe from the dangerous world Vane is literally living in. Ooh, if that were the case, isn't that being overprotective? What do you think? Well, whether you agree with me or not, I would appreciate it if you click the like button. And if you enjoy linkclick related content, then you might want to subscribe because there's seriously already so much to talk about Vane alone. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again. Take care!